Fire. Fire, fire, fire.
What is this? It's over for him. It's not fair! Wah!
This is the biggest legal crisis Andrew Tate has faced, and this time it's actually happening on American soil. And for years, Andrew Tate has built his entire brand about being the Giga Turbo Chad who shall teach you how to live your life. I think it's safe to say you wouldn't want to live your life.
Fuck bitches and frick prostitutes, and women need to be put in their place.
Like this guy, especially if what he's accused for turns out to be true, because every investigation, every arrest, it's all a part
of the guy that's a fucking pedo. That's crazy.
The Matrix. In his version of events, powerful people are terrified of him because he tells the truth. And everything that happened to him is nothing more than just political persecution. Well, that argument just got a whole lot harder to sell, because over the weekend, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan were arrested by U.S. Marshals in Miami after British authorities requested their extradition back to the United Kingdom. They spent the weekend in federal custody before appealing to a Miami courtroom wearing jail uniforms, handcuffs, and shackles. And this isn't just like another update to the whole Romanian case that's been dragged on for years. No, British prosecutors have now brought on a new wave of charges against both of the brothers. So this is all separate, and Andrew is now facing dozens of charges in the UK, including trafficking, assault, and worse. And on top of everything, multiple counts related to indecent images of a child. Tristan is also facing his own charges: assault, trafficking, and worse. And in this case, the worse is the R word that YouTube isn't too big of a fan of. But regardless, the brothers, they denied all of this, and they say the cases against them are politically motivated.
Andrew now faces a total of 42 charges in the UK. Tristan faces 17. The head of the CPS Special Crimes Division, this is Malcolm McAfee, said these charging decisions followed receipt of a further file of evidence from Bedfordshire police and bring the total number of alleged victims in this case to 7.
Now, if you somehow have managed to avoid hearing about Andrew Tate over the last few years, or don't know who he really is, well, here's the quick version. Dude is essentially one of the most successful course sellers ever. He
filled the niche of a bunch of men that don't have dads, which is not a bad thing. It's like, you know, it happens. It sucks. I don't want anybody to not have one parent or the other, but he filled a niche and then sold them a fucking stupid ass course that's like, be a man, work out, hate women because they're stupid and dumb and stupid. Yeah, fuck them. Women are the reason why you're having a bad time.
Blew up massively, and with that come up, a whole bunch of his past came to light, like how he ran a whole bunch of cam girl websites and allegedly e-pimped women to siphon as much money out of lonely men as possible. Ironically, it seems like the main target of his course was lonely men, so I guess...
And he would charge them like thousands of dollars. I'm not talking like, oh, it's $100 for a self-help book or something like that. Like, unironically, thousands of dollars.
Say he was double dipping.
Such a
dude just essentially went back for seconds. But anyway, he made some stupid money from this, and we're talking...
I'm not saying like you can't charge people to like help them and stuff. Obviously, psychiatrists and psychologists exist, but there has to be a line in the sense like, I really care about men and men's feelings and, you know, all this shit, right? So why did you charge like thousands of dollars? People are stupid enough to buy it too, and that makes me sad because there's a lot of vulnerable, stupid men out there, and women, of course.
Like some buku bucks here. He had the Lambos, he had the McLarens, he had the Bugattis.
The Bugatti,
and I get
the Bugatti.
Yes, the attention of authorities. Because back in late 2022, Romanian authorities arrested Andrew and Tristan Tate as a part of an investigation into the allegations of human trafficking. And not only that, but also forming an organized criminal group. Prosecutors, they alleged the brothers were recruiting young women by pretending they were in genuine relationships, and then manipulated some of them into producing adult content for...
I didn't even know this lore. I thought he was just a pimp. Yeah, I thought that he was just a straight up pimp.
Profit. The Tate brothers, however, have denied all of those allegations from the very start. And the Romanian case, I mean, it has been nothing but straightforward. I mean, it is a mess in itself, and it would require, I don't know, easily an hour-plus long video to even get through it all. Essentially, over the last few years, there's been appeals, procedural challenges, and disputes over how prosecutors handled parts of the investigation. Okay. And at one point, the Romanian court sent sections of the indictment back to the prosecutors because of legal issues with how parts of the case had been prepared. Now, this doesn't mean the brothers were cleared. It means prosecutors had to continue working through the case. So while all of that was happening, Romanian authorities eventually relaxed the brothers' travel restrictions, allowing them to actually leave the country under certain conditions. And earlier this year, they traveled to the United States. They went to D.C. and they went to Annapolis, Maryland.
Now we're going to go to our meeting, okay? Got a car and came to Annapolis.
And eventually, they found their way down to Florida. But here's what Andrew Tate may have not expected. Just because Romania allowed him to travel didn't mean that every other country...
Oh, it was in Romania. Yeah, that's right. I remember now. Balkans
was finished investigating
That's crazy.
British authorities, they've been conducting their own investigation into allegations dating back years. And as that case continued to develop, prosecutors put their fair number on extra charges. And once the brothers were on American soil, the United Kingdom requested their extradition. So I guess instead of enjoying a trip to Florida, he found himself in a courtroom fighting to avoid being sent back across the Atlantic. So I guess for years, Andrew Tate has been complaining that governments around the world were trying to stop him from traveling. Then Romania finally...
Well, yeah, of course, you're going to reframe it when you do bad things.
Relaxed his travel restrictions. He flew to the United States.
I'm just an innocent little guy. I just sell self-help books. If you truly only did that, you have nothing to worry about. Duh. There's hundreds of men out there that have self-help courses and books, and I will say I think a lot of them are still insanely grifty, but like if you didn't do anything bad, then you wouldn't be getting fucking fucked by the government so hard. I'm sorry. I know. People are gonna be like, oh, I distrust the government. I don't know. It's a pretty serious allegation to have CPN being a pimp.
Probably thinking that I guess he could enjoy a little bit of freedom for once, but psych, no he can't. Not if the UK has anything to do with it. Because just within a few days, he was back in handcuffs, and somehow the timing gets even stranger because just days before federal marshals arrested the brothers in Miami, they weren't exactly laying low. Now, photos surfaced of Andrew and Tristan posting with Congressman Wesley Hunt. They also attended a party hosted by Paolo Zampoli, and he apparently...
What clout does to a motherfucker, man.
Serves as the special envoy of global partnerships. Now, it's worth pointing out that Zampoli himself, he said there was nothing official about this event. According to him, it was simply a party at his home, and he said the brothers asked if they could stop by. They chatted for a few minutes, and there was no discussion about the presidential pardon. And I do want to mention that before Monday's hearing, Joseph McBride, Andrew Tate's lawyer, was arguing that the UK case could be politically motivated. He said that he believed that the Trump administration would recognize that and oppose sending the brothers back to Britain. And the reason I mentioned that is it almost feels like the defense for the Tates are trying to frame this as a disagreement between the governments rather than simply an extradition case. It's definitely an interesting legal strategy, to put it lightly. I guess they're just trying to argue that they're so relevant and embedded with the right that it has to be a big political case.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Dude, politics, you might not be interested in politics, but politics is always interested in you, man.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
But honestly, at this point, who knows what will happen? We live in interesting times. Things which I would think would be a joke just, I don't know, 7 years ago are now very real. I feel like we've been in funny land since early 2020. Regardless, though,
I think the world underwent mass psychosis, and we're never gonna recover from it until the people that suffered from it die. And I don't mean like in a bad way, like pass away generationally. I think everybody, all the kids that were born in that time, all the adults, all the boomers, all Gen X, anyone that lived during that time, we have like actual brain damage. Yeah, like I think people's brains broke.
This is an interesting legal strategy, to put it lightly. And McBride, he called this case garbage. He called it a stitch-up job, and he even described the extradition effort as political kidnapping. Well, I mean, if any of these allegations are true, it doesn't look like that to me.
Now, attorneys for the Tates have adamantly denied any wrongdoing. Lawyer Joseph McBride did not mince words in a lengthy statement saying, in part, the world knows Andrew and Tristan Tate are innocent. Their enemies know it best of all. That is exactly why they have been attacked. He continued, understand what Britain just did. There is a long-standing agreement between the UK and Romanian governments that
But you find it interesting that, like, this guy has allegedly done CP, but Romanian government let him roam free. I don't know. I feel like if you're going to be accused of something as heinous as that, you shouldn't be allowed to travel.
The UK would not seek extradition while the Romanian proceedings are pending. Those proceedings are ongoing right now. That agreement exists because no nation gets to trample the judicial sovereignty of another for political convenience. The UK shredded its own word the moment it became useful to shred it. That is who they are. This extradition demand has one purpose: to kidnap Andrew and Tristan through paperwork before an American jury exposes the truth to the entire world. We are confident that once a competent judge sees the facts and once
lawyer looks like a douchebag. I mean, I don't know who they hired, but he's obviously gonna be fighting for his side. Maybe they told him to look like that. Yeah, you gotta start dressing like us and doing like the glasses and the bald haircut.
The Department of Justice confronts this egregious abuse of its own authority, Andrew and Tristan Tate will walk free. America does not do Britain's political dirty work. Not here, never.
Okay, so I guess it's his take that they were kidnapped in Florida. That's kind of been Andrew Tate's position for years. Every investigation, every arrest, every accusation, according to him, it's all connected. It's never just a criminal case. It's always governments trying to silence him because of his...
Well, that's what he has to play into. Yeah, what is he supposed to say? Like, again, I do have to understand that, like, if you're being prosecuted, what are you gonna say? Oh, I am guilty of the things that I did. Yeah, he's obviously gonna say this dumb shit. Yeah.
Influence or something like that. Like, so I guess while the defense argues this is political persecution, the reality is that the brothers are now dealing with legal proceedings in multiple countries. And now, for the first time, that legal battle has landed in the American courtroom. When the brothers finally appeared in federal court on Monday, there wasn't much to see. Andrew and Tristan, they were brought into the courtroom wearing tan jail uniforms with handcuffs and shackles around their waist. And
editor's interpretation.
Apparently, the two men who, as we know, are never quiet online, they barely spoke. According to the reporters in the courtroom, the only words that were said are, "Yes, Your Honor," when they asked if they understood their rights. That's about as far from an Andrew Tate podcast as you can probably get, especially considering that he has no problem giving a 3.5 interview recently on everything that happened. Obviously, I'm not going to...
Jesus, yapperoni.
...play 3.5 hours of this.
I wonder if they're gonna use this as court evidence. Hi, Mia! We're watching Andrew Tate being extradited to the UK. Oh my god, dude. Claims to be an alpha male, but has the woman's instinct to yap. Curious. Well, you gotta know how to act like a bitch in order to put the bitches in line if he's a pimp, right? Am I right, fellas? Yeah.
But overall, the message is pretty consistent with what he's been saying for years. According to Andrew, the British authorities have been determined to get him no matter what. He argues the allegations are false. He says the women accusing him are lying or being manipulated, and he insists that the entire case is part of a much bigger campaign to destroy his reputation and silence him. In other words, it's kind of like the same argument that we've heard really since his first arrest in Romania. Nothing's his fault. Everything's political. And everyone, of course, is out to get him. And he recounts all of this here.
And because my reputation was in the gutter when I got out of jail, I was like, no, my best way to fight back is to tell the truth on emergency meeting podcasts and use my affiliate army to spread the truth. I'm not lying to anybody. Tell everyone what can happen. UK State was behind all this. Anyway, I currently have, and from that point onwards, had no active case in the court. I was as free and innocent as any other person. Why am I locked in my house?
Did you have a case in the UK at the time?
I had the case they're trying to extradite me for.
Okay, got it.
I had that one. So who is telling the Romanian state, no matter what they do, to keep me locked in my house at least? Well, we're going to get there. The whole time we're trying to convince himself he won't quit.
I mean, I've watched enough documentaries and I also have a decent amount of viewers from the Balkans. Their judicial system is very corrupt and very bribable, unfortunately. not that I want it to be, but it's an actual stereotype in the Balkans, specifically in the southern halves of the Balkans. It's very easy to bribe yourself out of crimes. I'm not accusing him of that, but like, I'm just saying the integrity isn't exactly there. Like, yeah, America obviously is not fucking saintly either, but I'm just saying the reputation is definitely there.
He won't give up. We've offered him money. We've offered him to give up. We've offered him capitulation. We've offered him to make all of it go away. We've offered him everything. He's still fighting. He won't give up.
Oh, buddy, I gotta dig a little deeper. There's no Pepe Silvia. You gotta be kidding me. I got boxes full of Pepe.
And ultimately, that is not something YouTubers or people on Twitter are going to decide. Yeah. That's what the courts are for. And their lawyers told the judge that they intend to fight the extradition. So this isn't a situation where they're just being put on a plane back to Britain right now. No, there's going to be hearings, legal arguments, and the judge will have to decide whether the requirements for extradition have been met under the treaty between the United States and the United Kingdom. But here's why British authorities are pushing so hard. Because these aren't just like a handful of new allegations. No, according to prosecutors, the latest charges involve an additional complaint and alleged conduct spanning over several years. The newly unsealed court documents also describe some deeply gross accusations, and I honestly can't talk about the details too much here on YouTube. But let's just say the gist of it is a whole lot of violence and non-consensual acts. And the document also contains allegations against Tristan from a woman who says that he repeatedly assaulted her during their relationship. And again, the Tate brothers have denied the accusations and they say they're innocent. And I guess at least we know that Andrew Tate isn't afraid of the UK government.
We can go long and deep into the state of the United Kingdom because every single person I know with money is leaving. Why does the UK want to lock me up? Because I'm seen as a symbol of resistance against their communism. That's why they hate me. They hate me because I teach young men to think for themselves. That's why they hate me. Because
think for themselves, but then you charge them tens of thousands of dollars for your courses. You're right, King. You're right.
The UK's fallen due to a lack of masculinity, which is what I promote. That's why they hate me. Are they going to try and get me? Probably. If I go to UK, will I ever get out? Probably not. Am I afraid of them? No, because I don't operate from a realm of fear.
And I guess
I don't operate. Dude, I need to steal that. I need to steal it. Do I fear them? No, I don't operate in the realm of fear. That's actually insane. That's a bar right there. I'm stealing that.
Because the story wasn't weird enough already. A guy by the name of Thomas Kravlov, he flew all the way from Dubai to Miami, allegedly spending 50 grand on this trip to, I guess, just campaign on the Tate brothers' behalf. What is he gonna do? What is this about? So he flew across the world to stand outside a federal detention center, making videos urging people to tag Marco Rubio and the Trump family on social media, arguing that someone at the highest level of the U.S. government should personally review this case before the brothers are extradited. Please. I'm still trying to figure out what he's doing there. Like, he's not reporting from the trial. He's not giving us any new information, and he's just like posted up in front of the jail. But his argument takes a turn that honestly just leaves me very confused, because he starts talking about wanting to protect the brothers from what he describes as PDF files and corrupt officials.
The Tate brothers got arrested in Miami and are facing extradition to the UK. And currently, I'm spending $50,000 on a trip to Miami from Dubai. I'm even taking my wife with me because this...
Why do you need to fly first class to save this guy? It doesn't fucking make the airplane fly fast. Why is he even saying that? Wait, I'm confused.
Whole situation, you might like them, you might dislike them, but when I'm seeing that from the Epstein list, including the UK ones, are not in jail, but these guys are in solitary confinement right now.
Okay, that's a good point. Sure, I totally agree. But it's like, I still want them to get trialed and found of guilt, rather, or not guilt. Just saying, I hope that's what the court system is for. Just because the big guys are fucking losers and they don't get fucking penalized or thrown in jail doesn't mean little guys shouldn't be. I'm just saying.
it raises
Not a good
eyebrows. It
thing.
makes me question things, and it makes me want to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah,
Bottom
there's
of
a
what?
problem there because, you
Bottom
know,
of
Andrew
what?
Tate himself is now facing multiple charges in the UK that include allegations relating to
Penile,
indecent
yeah,
images of a
penile.
child, in addition
Penis.
to trafficking and assault charges. So hearing someone frame this as, we have to protect these guys from the bad people, while seemingly ignoring the part that they're actually accused of, I mean, that's a choice. Like, if you're gonna fly across the world to defend someone, you would think you would at least address the full list of allegations and maybe debunk them instead of pretending that they just don't exist.
you're
I don't know.
bullying me.
So what happens next with the actual case? Well, despite all of the headlines, Andrew and Tristan Tate aren't getting on a plane to Britain tomorrow morning. That's not how extradition works. Right now, they're fighting the UK's request in a federal court in Florida. Their legal team has already made it clear that they'll contest it every step of the way, so this process could easily take weeks or even months, honestly, if they just keep appealing. And the brothers have already waived their appearance for the last hearing that was on July 27th. So in the meantime, they'll remain in federal custody while the court considers whether the legal requirements for extradition have been met or not. But regardless, even if the court approves this request, that isn't really the end of this process. Under the US/UK extradition treaty, there are additional executive branch steps before someone is actually transferred to another country.
Okay.
So despite what
It's a
people
big
online
deal,
are saying,
sure.
this isn't a
I get
case
it.
where a judge simply says, yep, send them back to the UK, and they're just gone the next day. No, there's several other legal hurdles they have to get through. And remember, this is only one piece of the puzzle, because even while this extradition battle plays out, the brothers are still dealing with a long-running Romanian criminal case where they continue to deny allegations of human
Romania.
trafficking and forming an organized criminal group. In other words, even if they somehow avoid being extradited to the UK, their legal problems don't just disappear. So, I don't know. If they're extradited, then they'll be facing a completely separate criminal prosecution in Britain involving different complaints. And overall, just a new set of allegations that prosecutors have been spending years to build. So essentially, they are fighting a legal battle on multiple fronts. And for someone who's built this entire empire based on I shall be your guide of how to live, yeah, this doesn't seem like the ideal.
Maybe don't cry about how everything is unjust and provide evidence of like how you're not a bad guy. Or I don't know, man. It's a pattern recognition thing. Yeah, sure, he's a scumbag that was like, you know, scamming people out of thousands of dollars, in my opinion. But like, I still want him to go to trial. Why is that like a crime to say? It's like, oh, the government hates me. The government.
way to live. I don't
Sorry.
see why one would ever put
Sucks to
themselves in a
suck.
position like this, let alone allegedly do something like that to
Evidence is for betas.
the alleged victims. So, I mean, currently his life, as he knows it, essentially is over for the next few years at least, because this is going to be
That's
a
right.
long fight.
I just
And for years,
am.
I mean, he's told his audience that every investigation was proof that powerful people were afraid of him. Essentially, every arrest was just an attack from the Matrix. So I guess that argument will face its biggest test yet. So I guess we just kind of have to wait around and see what happens. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe, drop a like if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Peace.
Peace. All right. Well, I didn't have to learn about the Andrew Tate case, but here we are. Wow, another demon time. Well, I mean, Miz is bad, but like, you know, being accused of having CP is way worse, you know? He is going demon time, you're right. He's taking a page out of the alpha male misqueef. Just give us a cokehead? Okay, but it's not a crime to be a cokehead. You see what I'm saying? Hard, but... Well, it's not. Well, I mean, no. It is. It's a crime if you get caught, chat. Think about it. Just don't get caught doing the crime. Everything's legal if you just don't get caught. That's every crime. Yep, that's right. Don't be a criminal, chat. Just don't get caught. That is not legal advice, by the way. I'm joking. It's a bit. It's a bit. It's funny. It's a funny. Don't do crime. It's bad. Don't be naughty. Mute for from the VOD. I will eat my own ass if I get banned for that. It's called a joke. it's factual. I mean, yeah, sure. But for legal reasons, that's a joke. For legal reasons, that's a joke. I'm pulling a PewDiePie.
Fire, 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 fire.